In Accenture, we have a saying. That's that if you're truly dedicated to Accenture, your blood runs purple. I always thought that my blood ran purple, but it turns out it doesn't. This video is about why I quit Accenture. In this video, I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons I'm leaving Accenture, and if you hang on to the end, I'm going to tell you where I'm going next and what this means for the channel. So I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons straight up, and then we'll talk about them in a bit more detail. Firstly, not feeling valued. Secondly, bureaucracy. And finally, impact. Okay, these are a bit cryptic. Let me explain. Firstly, not feeling valued. Now, I've actually journaled some of my thoughts prior to making this video, so I have this handy, but I think the first thing to say about this is there were individuals who went out of their way to make me feel appreciated at a team level. And some of them watch these videos, and I don't want this video to undermine in any way the true gratitude I feel to those people for making my whole time in Accenture everything that it has been. Because you know what? It has been an absolute blast. And I don't want this video to take away from how appreciative I am to those people to making me feel valued and appreciated. But outside of that arena, at a wider company level, I didn't feel valued. And I can actually pinpoint the exact moment where this feeling hit me. It was back last year, and I had made my first sale in my new client that I had truly made. I'd had the idea, I'd developed it with my team, and then I'd sold it back to the client. Like what I would call true origination of sale. And I felt so proud of myself. But when I looked at the value of my sale relative to the revenue numbers that Accenture makes, I realized what an absolute tiny drop in the ocean that is relative to the Accenture ecosystem. Now, there's 2 ways of looking at this scenario. You can look at this and say, this is my tiny contribution to the bigger picture and feel empowered by it. And previously, that is how I'd felt. But something this time just felt different. And I actually felt demotivated. And to be honest, once you felt like that, it's pretty hard to come back from it. And it made me think about impact too, and I'll talk about that in reason 3. But this feeling of demotivation came at the same time as the news that Accenture has grown to over 700,000 employees. And it kind of made me reflect that Accenture and any big consultancy, we're in the business of moving people in and out and between roles. And when I stepped back and put these things together, I felt like a commodity, not an asset. The second reason is bureaucracy. When I had the burnout, it made me reassess what my why is and what meaningful work means to me versus just busy work. And I've tried, but I've come to the realization that right now, for me, what meaningful work is and corporate culture are at odds with each other, and I can't reconcile it. Again, let me give you a specific example. In Accenture, we talk about being the flagship of innovation and being at the bleeding edge. And we do try to do innovative things. You know, we've run Dragon's Dens, we've run hackathons, and people do turn up with genuinely brilliant ideas that they've really thought through. But then nothing ever happens with those ideas. And so over time, it encourages people to participate in these things for what, in my opinion, is the wrong reasons. People do these things for visibility rather than for the genuine desire to innovate. What I was finding is that all of this ends up paying lip service to innovation, not homage. And that really frustrated me. It felt like a superficiality. And the reason often things don't really happen with these ideas is because of red tape, bureaucracy, politics, that you get not just in Accenture, but in like I say, any big corporate. But for me personally, it bothered me to the point that I was becoming cynical. And when you become cynical, it's pretty hard to come back from that. And the final reason is impact. A friend of mine at another big consultancy firm said something which really resonated with me. He said, "We're just billion-dollar companies helping other billion-dollar companies make money to put millions into the pockets of CEOs who don't need any more millions." Ouch. That one hit different for me. It all relates back to the point I made at the beginning of being one of just 700,000 employees. Your direct contribution and your direct impact on the company is pretty minimal because it's being diluted across 700,000 people. And I personally found this really demotivating. I ultimately felt like, well, if I don't do this thing, one of 700,000 other people can do it. All of these three factors combined led me to ask the question, what's the point? I just couldn't find my answer in Accenture. Now there's also a bonus reason, and at the risk of jinxing everything, I'm too excited, I'm just gonna have to tell you guys. So my partner and I are buying a home together, and we're moving in together, and we're moving outside of London. This is super, super exciting, but what it means is that my life is changing. That it's not just me I need to think about now. Whilst Accenture has a better work-life balance than a lot of firms, look, you guys have seen my day in the life videos, and if you haven't, then links in the doodah thingies. But look, the cold hard facts are that I don't believe that I can work in the way that I need to in order to get to where I want to be in Accenture whilst having a work-life balance that enables me to give my partner and my relationship all the time that it needs for us to adjust to this new phase that we're going through in our lives. I also don't think that this is an Accenture problem. I think this is true of every big consultancy. But the fact is, I'm in a time in my life where I want to and need to prioritize my relationship and giving that everything that it needs to nurture it over working in a big corporate consultancy. Don't get me wrong, there are very senior people maintaining fantastic, healthy relationships with good work-life balances. I don't know how they do it. They're probably geniuses or superheroes, I don't know. But there's also a lot of people who aren't. And I don't want to take the risk of being one of those people, especially when those other three factors were already playing on my mind anyway. To put it absolutely bluntly, there is a time in your life when the Accenture lifestyle will work for you, and there's a time in your life when it won't. And I'm entering a time in my life when it won't. And I am completely at peace with moving on because of the three reasons I just mentioned. Before I tell you what's next for my career, where I'm going, what this means for the channel, all this exciting stuff, there's a few things I want to say. Because the last 4.5 years in Accenture have been brilliant. I have done things I never thought possible, been to places I never thought possible, learned things I had no idea about, and that is primarily due to the amazing, brilliant, fantastic, wonderful people that I have met on the way. To everyone who has taught me something, mentored me, given me an opportunity, I am so grateful. You guys know who you are, and you know that everything I have today, everything I am today, is because of your guidance and your mentorship and your growth that you've given to me, and I will forever be grateful for that. Because I hope the thread that you guys are picking up from this video is, oh dear, it's not that I hate Accenture, I don't, but I need to take a pit stop from corporate culture because I'm cynical about it in ways that I can't ignore. But that doesn't mean that I hate Accenture. If the reverse, right? I would recommend it as a fantastic place to work for anyone whose life is in the position that mine was back when I started in October of 2017. And I have loved almost every minute of it since I've been there until the time that realistically I have never been the same since I burnt out. I have looked at the world in a different way. My priorities have changed, and it fundamentally sits at odds with corporate culture. Which leads me nicely into what's next. Well, you'll be unsurprised to learn that I am not going to another big consultancy, which is why I am very excited to announce that, drumroll please, I am going to a boutique consultancy firm called Sisua. I'll put the link to their website in the description. Check it out. It's a tiny boutique consultancy firm of less than 20 people, and it's going to be so different to anything I have ever done before. And I am super excited for the next chapter. Accenture has been a blast, and I will look back on it with extremely fond memories. But I am ready to take the next step into boutique consultancy life. It's kind of ironic that a few months back I made a video and said I can't comment on what life in boutique consultancies is like. Well, I guess we're going to find out, and I'm going to be sharing the journey of my transition, what I'm learning along the way, how the two things compare, and I want to bring you guys on the journey with me. As we move on at this crossroads, I want to say a big thank you to also you guys for watching the channel, for helping it grow, for engaging with the content. Hopefully you found it useful. I have lots more pearls of wisdom still to share with you guys from my time at Accenture, but I'm excited to put the boutique spin on that and hopefully share with you guys even more stuff along the journey. The videos are definitely not stopping. In fact, we're coming up with even more exciting content, and I'm also going to make a video of my last day in Accenture. Maybe this one's a bit self-indulgent. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too, and I hope that you still want to come with me on this journey into the next chapter. I hope you found this video useful. Oh dear, I'm a bit emotional now. I hope you found this video useful. I hope you want to come with me still on the journey. I'm excited, despite this, I'm excited for what's next. And I'll see you in the next one.